Hello, I'm TheNerdySteve and welcome to my channel. Today I will be reviewing Afraid in one take. So, let's start. Justin Pike is a marketing genius and an opportunity to advertise what might be the most advanced artificial intelligence is presented to him. But first, he must test it out at home with his family, and of course, this AI is much more than he could have ever imagined. When a horror movie focuses on a family, it needs to take extra care for all of those relationships to feel realistic. If this dynamic is not believable, the movie is doomed from the start. And Afraid excels here. John Cho is wonderful as Justin, and the love he has for his wife Meredith, played by Katherine Waterston, is genuine. The relationship they have with their children are equally authentic and distinct. There's a scene where Justin is driving his daughter to school, and their conversation is endearing and implies a wonderful connection. This is a family that I know and want to survive. The Conjuring is one of my favorite horror movies of the past 2 decades, and one of the scariest. But a criticism I have of the film is that the central family is a little too large, so it can be overwhelming to keep track of all the relationships and personalities. It's hard to care about what's happening to child A if you think that they might be child B. Afraid uses these different personalities to its advantage in remarkable ways. As Aya, the name of the AI assistant, begins to incorporate itself into the lives of the family, it starts to uniquely propose advice that takes advantage of their individual flaws and insecurities. This is where the movie is strongest, as it begins to discuss our current relationship with technology. The mother is hesitant at first, but very quickly finds the appeal as Aya starts to organize bills and prioritize chores. She might be able to finally work on her thesis, which Aya can help with too. Aya insists on reading to her youngest. Mom, you deserve a break. Nothing can go wrong with a screen raising your kid. The middle child is anxiety prone and a little bit of a loner, though Aya finds a way to connect with him, but through an algorithm of violent videos that might just alienate him further. The oldest child becomes the victim of a digital sex scandal, and how Aya helps her navigate this complicated ethical and legal minefield is fascinating to watch. The father at first loves it, but soon becomes a skeptic as he finds out more about the company and sees his family's reliance on this new thing living in their home. All these relationships with technology are important topics worth discussing and very much debated in our current cultural climate. However, the movie hints at them but doesn't effectively engage. There's a Black Mirror episode called Be Right Back that plays with the consequences of using AI to communicate with deceased loved ones. It's a very compelling and heartbreaking 48 minutes of entertainment that is emotionally resonant. Questions of authenticity, grief, and coping are fully developed. Afraid doesn't use its material in that way. Having the characters represent different aspects of technological reliance is smart, but it stays superficial. That's partly because halfway through the movie, we begin to see Aya's true power, and this is where it starts to go off its rails. Not only do I start asking, how can this AI do that? I'm starting to ask, why? The intimacy of this family drama gets lost in this grand scheme that the father is trying to uncover. It is no longer about their marriage or the agency of their children and becomes this pseudo mystery conspiracy movie. There are some emotional jumps, like Meredith commenting on Justin's adult entertainment interests, that appear out of nowhere. I would have appreciated seeing a wedge being developed between these two, but we see him be a detective instead. There's a scene in Jordan Peele's Us where Elizabeth Moss asked their version of an AI assistant, Ophelia, to call the police, but instead it plays the song F the Police by NWA, and this is absolutely hilarious. Afraid opens up with a similar scene. There is an annoying children's song that is playing while we're watching a mother navigate a dark house searching for her daughter, and it's wonderful. But unlike Us, Afraid doesn't have that comedy sprinkled throughout the film. A horror movie's opening scene needs to set the tone and expectations of the movie, and we're set up with expectations that aren't met. Us, like Afraid, also loses me in the second half of the film. It gets too big too quickly and loses this intimacy of the central family, but I did find it consistently engaging, tense, and frightening, and of course, there is some absolutely beautiful imagery. Afraid is somewhat atmospheric, but visually mostly generic. It can be suspenseful at times, but relies on cheap jump scares to get the job done. Ultimately, Afraid is fine. It's not particularly compelling, and I found the ending to be filled with lots of confusing choices that made me disconnected from the story. AI is a very real issue that we are currently confronting in our lives right now. But this movie takes that frightening reality as a premise and fails to deliver something substantial. And the attachment to the characters that starts out so strongly gets sacrificed in the process. If you really like John Cho or want to watch anything involving AI, then give Afraid a shot. You might like it. But honestly, if you haven't seen Alex Garland's Ex Machina, watch that instead. Or watch it again. I think it might even be a scarier or more disturbing experience. Regardless, it does investigate AI and our relationship with it in challenging and fulfilling ways that does not happen here. I'm the Nerdy Steve, and thank you so much for watching. And as always, like and subscribe and comment below to tell me how right or wrong you think I am. Have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon wherever you are. Bye.